we're coming into this match really hot. 2 dualies are down on both sides here, Rose. They're coolered up. They're ready to go. Yep here trying to get all the kills that they can here, but both dualies end up going down here, Rose. This is a lot. I don't know what's happening. I'm freaking out.
There's just a lot going down here. I do see Corki trying to hold space here. Does have 7 clams ready to start going in with a power clam, with another clam nearby. They're just going to have to start making space. But honestly, they're going to have to get some specials at the ready. We do already have multiple specials ready on the side of CSULB Gold. They're just doing their best to stay alive. We have so many specials. Unfortunately, that ball point is going to go down. We do have specials being used. Octobrush could be using a zip, but it's just going to hold space for now. And 1 minute in, and nobody has scored.
Yeah, I mean, talking about holding space here, oh, Koreki going down to the bomb is really unfortunate here, but a really, really crucial pick for Long Beach Gold here. I mean, we talk about how to poke holes into your opponent's defenses here, taking out that backline, which is the pseudo backline here. We're looking at the ballpoint versus the heavy edit here, Rose. So being able to pick them off is really, really crucial to getting anything off the ground here, though. But we already see Yep here. The defense is strong already. The back-to-back splashdowns is so tough to go into here, but I'm seeing another splashdown from the end carries on the side of Long Beach Gold here, Rose. But I mean, UTK feeders, they're coming back into the strong, and they're already back into mid. But no points on the board yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, we're just seeing a lot of back and forth here. Teams just trying to eke out some sort of map control. It's switching back and forth so quickly. We have, one player down on each side yet again. But right now, Feeders is looking good with a good amount of clams in their pockets right now. There is definitely more around for them to start moving in. Corki again, trying to poke some holes in. The rest of the team's coming in. We have yet another splashdown at the ready, but one of the other end parries is going to go down. And we're seeing things go back and forth.
We definitely are. And again, nobody's scored yet. Both of these teams are fiending for some kind of control of mid, and we can already see the picks kind of flying back and forth. Like, the sploosh is going to go down on the side of UTK feeders. A lot of space being taken here with that splashdown here from Yep. Once again here, being able to push the envelope, getting a lot of control in crucial areas, like under that basket, pushing up for their teammates to be able to score. But Hydro here, clutch inkjet, going to be able to take out the person who's holding that clam, and taking out the person who inkjetted it, and the flank at the same time here. Talk about being a backline, being the skeleton, the bones of your team there. Taking out 3 members there of UTK feeders, completely taking out their push as well. And we're back to square one. Both teams still want to get mid control here, Rose.
Yeah, all that and only 20 points. Huge defense from the side of Gold here. And just, that ballpoint's inkjet finding marks so well. Even though a clam got in and another one's being scored again by feeders, just that they've been able to hold things to just 70 right now, making sure that the feeders can't score anything more than that. Again, we do only have a minute and a half, so Gold is going to have to start getting in and be able to hold space. But all they need to throw in is 2 power clams, and they would get the lead.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're on the side of UTK feeders here, you definitely want to keep the pressure on here. Offense is the best defense, and I think that they're living by that mantra already here. I mean, they're all in the base of Long Beach Gold here, Rose. Like, it feels like they just cannot get them out. All of those splashdowns, taking out 2 members, another 2 down on the side of Long Beach Gold here. They have a power clam, it's going in, they're scoring, but they don't quite have any little clams here. The clam economy is not on anyone's side here. I feel like we just keep scoring these, like, power clams, but it's hard to follow up off of them, especially when Long Beach Gold does such a great job of getting them out of their spawn after the power clam is already in here. But less than a minute left here. They've got to make something work, because defense is great and all, but if you can't score, you're not going to be able to win.
Yeah, but that's a wipeout on Gold. Feeders moving in. They're trying to get their clams ready, passing clams around. They have 14 available, but people are poking in again. We're trying to hold space. We do have that power clam being scored on the side of feeders. Gold not able to get anything. They're doing their best to hold defense, but it's down to 32 now. We have 15 seconds left to go. Gold has to get in some clams.
Oh my gosh, and I can already see all the space again being provided here by these splashdowns. A huge trade there. Talk about being able to pick your targets there. The end parry on the side of Long Beach Gold went for the heavy edit, which is really, really smart. That means no more cooler, no more space there from their backline. But I mean, Long Beach Gold, they're still trying to make something happen here. Again, going for that heavy edit, being able to pick them off is going to pretty much open up Long Beach Gold to a lot more aggression there. And they completely wiped it out here, Rose. In an overtime situation, you never ever want to get wiped here. Cephalopod, a huge pick there. That zap onto another member here of UTK Feeders. They're getting in a lot of clams here. 42 remaining, 39 remaining here. But there's no more there's no more clams rather around the basket here. But as I say that, they score in like 2 more, but they're gonna get completely wiped out here, Rose. There's no more semblance of a push here from Long Beach Gold because, I mean, if there's a wipe, no more clams are going to be getting in here. But UTK Feeders proving that, listen, if you get a good push, if you keep that push going, you're going to be able to win that game here. Offense feels like the best defense here.
It does. You know, whatever score you get in Clam Blitz over the course of, like 4.5 minutes, even the 5 minutes at some point, everything can change with a solid overtime push. Gold almost got it. There's just a couple clams more into that basket, and they would have gone from 0 points to winning that in overtime. Huge push. It took a long time to get there. Feeders did such a good job with feeding. But both teams had such aggressive comps. We saw with those, 3 end parries across the entire lobby. We had an Octobrush. There was a Sploosh. Everybody was so scrappy.
It was, I couldn't even decipher kind of what Long Beach Gold's comp was trying to do because I was so focused on UTK Feeders. Like you said, they're so into feeding. But like that works, Like when you have so many coolers being outputted, I'd be interested to see how many coolers both of those teams got there. But like, it just felt like a constant barrage of pressure. And because of all those splashdowns, the second you get in and you know that they have a splashdown ready, you kind of have to give them the space. Even if they're not like pushing you back as much as you think they could. You think that you could take them. That happens to me a lot. I'll be like, no, I can take them. And they're like, no, Grace, they have a splashdown. And then I'm a junior and I'm like, oh, and then I just, I'm a goner. So I think.
Yeah, especially it can be so fun to have those splashdowns against scrappy short-ranged opponents because even with that junior, it's like you have a lot of mobility for you, but you have to get in so close to start poking if you're not going to be using your bombs. By the time you're using your main weapon and they trigger a splashdown, you're like, oh, I don't know if I can swim away in time.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like if you're Long Beach Gold, like I'm thinking of like how to kind of go into that because they almost did break out. Like they got a really good push going. They were in their spawn. They were doing a really great job. Like I feel like UTK Feeders was like death by 1,000 cuts of how many pushes that they did there. But Long Beach Gold had like a really good sustainable one there that almost got them the lead. But I think that it's really tough to go into that, especially when you're trying to score into them, when there's so many splashdowns and there's so many weapons that if they get the trade on you, that's good for them because they're so quick, because they're so fast, and because of their play style here. So going into this next game, zones on Hagglefish is very interesting. I'd be interested to see if we see anybody pick up a crab weapon here. I see Filmopolis has that little splash badge here. No, I think, wait, is that the orange? Is that the orange end zap?
It sure is. We're getting some friendly little balloon explosions here from the side of Filmopolis over on Gold. I love to see it. But honestly, both teams, interesting comps. We do have double dualies again on the side of Feeders, but one of those is Gluga. And we also have an Explo.
I'm so interested by the Explo, but I feel like it is so powerful, especially on zones, especially on this map mode, especially.
Oh, yes.
I feel like it covers basically the whole one zone, which is really tough. So again, if you're Long Beach Gold, you're like, okay, well, what are our win conditions here? It's probably going to have to be taking out that Explo here, but they have a good control of the zone right now. I see Koreki here really wants to get some pressure here onto the zone as well. But with the pencil up, you already know, Hydro here is a lot of pressure in mid as well. And 2 down here, going to go down to the side of UTK Feeders. They're coolered up, sure, but I think so are the members of Long Beach Gold here. So they still want to get this zone here. I mean, like, I'm seeing a lot of pressure. I'm seeing a lot of picks coming out. And especially here with this Explo, like I was saying, such great control of the zone here, but they can't quite get it yet here, Rose.
Yeah, they've been putting down a lot of paint, able to get control of the zone right now, but it is going back and forth. They are down a player. At this point, they're just trying to hold this space now. But we have a lot of specials online from CSULB Gold. But 2 go down! 2 down on both sides here. People are going to have to come in fast with the coolers active because Feeders is starting to tick down points, but it is still anybody's game at this point.
It is definitely, and I mean, especially with their Explo being down as well, when you go into those lockout situations, you do not want the backbone of your comp, which a lot of the times I think is your back line, to be down in those kind of situations here. With the Zip coming out as well, and I mean, all these specials, the Whale too, all of that pressure. I mean, talk about death by 1,000 cuts, kind of what Feeders was doing onto them that last game here, but Feeders are able to keep the zone here. I mean, with that rain as well, that's going to be a lot of chip damage, a lot of pressure for them to go in with here too. And they still have control of the zone, 2 down, 2 of them, 2 great painters here as well. And the pencil's going to end up going down here, Rose. I mean, that's a sealed deal so far. Yeah, I would jump out too.
Yeah, at that point, you just gotta jump back out to safety, wait for the rest of the team to spawn back in, get specials, and go in. But they are gonna have to start painting up this zone very quickly. We are hitting 10 ticks left to go. And fortunately for Gold, they do manage to cap. They're able to flip it. Whale's going out. They do get 2 picks on Feeders, but they're not done yet. But no, Yep is able to stay alive. These dualies are strong.
A formidable foe indeed here, and the flank still pulling attention here from Filmopolis, a big painter here, going to be able to get a lot of pressure here. I think they just got a pick there on the right side, but we're just going to go 2 for 2, essentially trading out, keeping this kind of a weird, advantageous position, I was going to say, but Yep here going for this amazing flank, pulling a lot of attention away from that zone here. Koreki wasn't quite able to follow up off of that, unfortunately, here, and Kaze as well is going to go down here. They were a little bit too desynced for that play, Rose. That was so unfortunate.
That was Gold's threatening to get this lead flipped into their possession. So close, and it goes to them. They have just a couple more seconds they have to hold, and then they will take this, and it'll tie it up. And yes,
Ooh.
that splashdown did not hit the ground in time to flip that back into Feeder's possession. CSULB Gold taking the second game to tie it up.
Wow. And I'm thinking about like the changes that they made there. I feel like it was just, I feel like they did really well whenever UTK Feeders was feeding. Like, we talked about how aggressive their comp was. All the flanks, too, like on Haggle specifically. I feel like Scorch is kind of weird for flanks. Like, you have to go across the grates. So Haggle's really their place to shine for their poking, all of, like, the pressure that they can do on the sides. Like, that's kind of the name of the game, I felt like, for Feeders. But Long Beach Gold was really ready for it. Like, we saw at that, like, really crucial point with the flank from the Glugas. On the side of the Feeders, where they went in with the Booyah Bomb. They got a pick with it, but Long Beach Gold kind of like surrounded them and like just took them out. And then as soon as somebody from Feeders was like, oh my gosh, my friend's making a play, I should follow up off of them, Long Beach Gold was ready for them. So they really played like a great unit. Like, I like to say like an amoeba, like where you're all like in each other's bubbles. Like, they played really great and really good teamwork there. So many claps for them, for Long Beach Gold there.
Yes, it's like the death cloud that just like seeks
Yes.
out opponents as a group and just like, okay, you're spotted. We've all decided you're our target. Now we're now going in on you. And they had good positioning in that one. Gold was making sure, okay, we're not all gonna funnel through the same spot, which Scorch can kind of, force that on Clams, because that flank route around the grate sometimes feels like it can take so long, and if somebody's still on the snipe, it's hard to force your way through to get that flank going, or to sometimes you're not able to clear to go back into your court and whatnot and to take back your snipe. But I think just like Haggle zones was just so much better. They were able to actually make use of that space. You've got the flanks on both sides. You've also got going through mid. They were doing a great job of just like making sure we're coming from different angles, and then we're gonna find somebody. We're gonna get them together.
No, that is so true. And I feel like I kind of said going into that, I was like, I wonder if we'll see a crab. No crabs. No crabs.
No crabs.
But I've got to respect it. I expected the pencil pick, though. I feel like pencil is, first of all, like, I feel like always going to be a staple for zones, like, all the time. It feels like such great paint output, such good pressure. Like, it pressures any and all other backline there. So I think that was a very, very smart pick there. And also just, like, the positioning, I felt like in the start, I was surprised to see them so far up. So that makes me feel that, like, if you're playing around a pencil who knows how to position, who knows how to play up with you and not just kind of like behind you, that's really, really good here. So going into this next game though, Rose, my golly goodness, tower control on Mako Mart. it's gonna look probably a bit different here. I mean, we're seeing similar comps to kind of, oh, is that a dread?
That is a dread. You know what? You got some fun stacks to fight on with this dread. I've also been playing a lot of dread lately, and I don't often enjoy it on tower control. Reef Slider can feel a little bit funky with it, but I will say it is pretty fun on Mako Mart.
Very true, like all the stack pressures, because I was also wondering, I was like, I feel like people don't really like Reef Slider for tower, like you said, but I mean, it seems to be faring pretty well for them so far. I think a lot of that stack pressure has to do with it here, but members of the feeders here are coolered up. They want to try to hold their ground here, but Filmopolis going for the battle zap here, going to get taken out, unfortunately, but still a lot of pressure here. The Jet as well, trying to follow up off of all of that room that their teammates put up here, and again, I think because of all that pressure, because of their ability to work together as that amoeba here, they're gonna go sailing right to that first checkpoint. But you gotta take out that top left area if you want to go any further, which is why they're popping so many specials onto it.
Yeah, you know you've got to use your specials to get, honestly, past both the first and second checkpoints, especially. And Hydra's ballpoint with that Inkjet special, able to get some really crucial picks. Gold is going to start sailing through. First checkpoint is cleared. They have lost their zap, but they're still trying to hold this space here. I've been really impressed with how quickly Gold, and honestly both teams, feeders as well, we've seen a lot of like Filmopolis's movement on the zap with that cooler active, being able to move so aggressively and quickly to go in with the rest of their team and play super aggressively. But oh, there's just people dying on both sides. We've gotten all the way down to 44 for CSULB Gold, but not able to clear the second checkpoint just yet.
Yeah, and I mean, running over the cooler, I feel like that is such a classic play. I don't know if you saw it, like putting the cooler in front of the tower, very smart here. But the Inkjet, again, kind of that really, really great tool for pushing in and operating kind of that like teamwork aspect here. You see them, they were shooting that Inkjet to try to help their teammates there in that corner with that fight against the Dread. And it proves to be pretty well. I mean, they didn't quite stop them from getting that checkpoint, but they still got a lot of room for their teammates here. They're going to go 2 down, but Koreki here trying to get onto the stack to get some more room as well for their teammates. Again, the cooler already coming out because they ran it over. The big brain plays here coming out from Koreki, you already know. And their teammates here trying to get control of the stack here, unfortunately getting taken out here. Long Beach Gold is holding strong. I mean, despite this flank here from Kaze, but now that I see the 2 down, maybe that's like delayed 3 down on the side of Long Beach Gold here, it's leveling the playing field a little bit, and I think we're going back into a bit of a neutral state.
We are, and I see Spec already putting down those beacons to make sure that, you know, with them holding mid now, even if they go down, trying to push this for lead, which is looking like they might get. There's a lot of contesting happening on this tower, but they are able to hold it, getting towards the second checkpoint. We'll have to see if they're able to clear it. We've got a couple members going down. Spec trying to stay alive here because that sploosh movement so fast here. Oh, I cannot believe they got a pick there. They're still alive. They have with a second pick. They're heading towards the goal here. And feeders so fast.
Oh my gosh, I feel like that was such a, not to use a corporate term here, that was such a good case of pivoting. It feels like they were, or adapting, like a better better comp term here, but that was really, really nicely done. It felt like they just kind of, once again, I think they overwhelmed the members of Long Beach Gold here. It felt like Long Beach Gold was always on the back foot a little bit, and I think definitely at the end there, I think they started to panic, which I was also panicking watching watching that. So
I felt that.
but I think still Long Beach Gold had a really good push at the start there. We were talking about Filmopolis's movement, if you will. We were talking about the awesome Inkjets as well here, but UTK feeders, they clutched it out. Like their push was so solid. Like they just cruised right through that second checkpoint and just went all the way to the end, and they completely KO'd. So, I mean, gotta represent, gotta respect the tower riders there, especially because the movement must have been like impeccable.
Yeah, they moved fast. I mean, honestly, like the shooters on both sides of these teams move so quickly. We see a lot of dipping in and out of ink, knowing when to quickly move around people and whatnot, trying to use cover to the advantage. We saw it with that sploosh just sort of dancing around. I was so surprised from the spec on that sploosh being able to stay alive for so long and get some picks. Just clearing the way for the tower moving ahead. They reversed that so quickly. It looked like they were having a really hard time getting mid control, but once they finally had it and were able to take that back from gold, they were just like, all right, let's go. We keep it moving. And sometimes, if you're able to keep that tower going without giving up any ground, gold was just like not able to get back in. So I don't know what they're gonna have to do to be able to take this back. This feels like it's going back and forth a lot with each team trying to figure out, okay, well, how do we adjust this a little bit so that we're gonna make sure we take the next game.
Yeah, and I think what kind of cost Long Beach Gold the game there was not playing like the amiibo that we've seen them play so well, like the lovely amiibo that we all love. I feel like it was kind of a bit of I think feeders were just finding where they were a little bit like weak, like moments where they were staggered a little bit, and then like keep snowballing that, like making it spiral out of control there. So I think if you're on the side of Long Beach Gold, knowing that you're going into a comp that wants to run at you, wants to feed, like their name suggests, I feel like sometimes you just gotta, like we saw them do on Hagglefish there, you have to move around them, let them take that space, and then collapse back in on them here. But Rainmaker is gonna be really tough to do that on, especially going into such an aggressive comp once again. The Dapples, the blue Dapples, and Parry's Sploosh once again, and then of course Koreki holding down the fort there with that heavy edit. Similar comp coming out from Long Beach Gold here, but let's see who gets this pop, Rose. My gosh. Yep, is it?
I was shocked that nobody died from that pop.
I know.
Everybody was so close contesting that. I was like, surely somebody dies to this. But we do already have members going down. 2 currently down on Long Beach Gold. Hydro able to stay alive there thanks to Thelmopolis coming in, throwing down that cooler. But points are getting on the board for feeders. They're heading towards that far left checkpoint for them. Not able to get the dunk though. They were able to get it to 68. They're trying to cheese out another here. Able to control some space with that Reef Slider pop. Gonna die. But they did get that first check, so even if they give up some space here, which it looks like they're not, they could just start running forward.
I was gonna say, like, I'm surprised that they got that pop there. Like, they are just coming in, they're stampeding this. They're gonna be 2 down, but probably not for long here, knowing the feeders here. I mean, they're gonna opt to jump out, which is really, really smart here. But we already see Koreki once again ready to pop. They're holding down the fort so amazingly here. I think they want to opt to try to go to that left channel, but the gal there on Long Beach Gold did not want to let that happen here. I mean, UTK feeders, they are 2 down once again on Long Beach Gold here. They're going to be able to get another push set up here. I see Spec in their spawn, somehow getting a huge pick onto Thelmopolis there, which is their cooler user here. So, I mean, feeders are looking to have a really good push here. They do even take out the Inkjet user, Rose. This is, again, like, this could spiral out of control if they don't get them out of their spawn here. My gosh.
Yeah, this brush is chasing Koreki down. Like, get out, no jumps for you. They move so quickly. Even that Zipcaster can go get a drink and whatnot.
I've gotta respect it. Sometimes when you're thirsty, you need that cooler. You need it real bad here. Kay's here trying to make another pick happen, but not quite able to. But if you're, again, Long Beach Gold, you can play a little bit of the long game here because you need to make a push that last here. Being able to take out Koreki, again, really, really huge. Gonna jump out though. Koreki here understanding how valuable their life is here. 2 down on the side of Long Beach Gold, but hello, there's gonna get another pick here by the Rainmaker. But I mean, they're jumping in behind the members of Long Beach Gold here, behind this first checkpoint, and they're not really able to get them out of there. And they're just going to take the Rainmaker right out from under them. I mean, they're just going to go right back into mid, completely stop their push. That was such an interesting, like, approach to getting them out of there. Like, they went from behind, all of them.
They did, yeah. I think they've been doing a really, really good job communicating with one another and being able to reposition so quickly.
Yeah, I think that is probably the name of the game here. I mean, but again, if you're on Long Beach Gold here, It's so tough. We already see Spec going for the flank of the century. Maybe, no, they opted to come back here. The Rainmaker reset it. But again, every time we're in mid, every time the Rainmaker's in mid here, Koreki is ready for it. Again, goes to show how strong they are here on this heavy edit. Able to get a little bit of a pick here on the side of the ballpoint here. Hydro being able to kind of contest Koreki here because it's what you have to do. That's going to be your key to victory here. I feel like you need to poke holes in what's keeping them stable, which is their edit, their backline.
Yeah, Hydro did end up grabbing that Rainmaker, so they're not going to be able to have an Inkjet for this push to try to get towards the next checkpoint. But, the huge splashdown. Able to just stop Gold in their tracks right now.
Oh my gosh, that is so unfortunate. I feel like this is something that I struggle with all the time as a player. It's like, how do we stop them from running at us? How do we stop them from running into us and getting all these amazing plays, these splashdown plays, all of these picks onto us? How do we stop it? And that's definitely the question that Long Beach Gold has to acknowledge here and be able to fix, be able to adapt against here. Going to this last minute here, Rose, we already see that they, oh no, the Zipcaster trying to come back to help their friend here with the Rainmaker, but not really able to make much use out of that Zipcaster because of it, which is really unfortunate. But Long Beach Gold, they're going to lose their Rainmaker carrier here, and there's less than 30 seconds left here, Rose, so it is do or die. It is lip sync for your life for any track race fans. Like, this is the moment they have to get this checkpoint, not only this checkpoint, but a sustainable push to get the lead back into their favor here, and defeaters are not going to let it happen.
Yeah, Kaze just went in and said, nope, I'm going to stop this right now. We do have two people going down on Long Beach Gold. We've got I see a splashdown and a whale being used for feeders right now. They are hunting down the members of Long Beach Gold, being able to get a bunch of picks and saying, nope, we are not letting you all dunk.
Oh my gosh, at the end there, that was so scary. It felt like a heat-seeking missile that all of the Slayers on the side of UTK feeders were heat-seeking missiles. They were like locked in on the members of Long Beach Gold there. That is so difficult to go against. Oh my gosh, I feel like that is such a difficult comp. I feel like once you realize what they're trying to do, that's when you've got to start like adapting and being like, well, is it us like weapons wise? Is our comp just bad into their comp and their play style? What their victory what their keys to victory are, what they're good at, is that just not compatible? Like, we're not going to win against that? Or is it that we need to take advantage of other aspects of our weapons here? Like, maybe go for something else. Maybe try to go for weapons that can sustain better, like Gals, for example, you know? Like, I think maybe being able to take advantage of those aspects of your weapons as well. Like, it's a lot of mental gymnastics. So again, Long Beach Gold, I do not envy you here, folks. This is a really tough comp to go against, and the feeders know it. That's why they're running it.
Yeah, the feeders are really running them down. I'm not sure what other weapons Long Beach Gold has at their disposal for what their members are comfortable playing. Sometimes I enjoy just having somebody have point sensors when I'm getting run down a lot, so at least I have a sense of where they all are. I just like my eyesight's terrible. I've discovered. I'm just like, oh, I did not see them swimming through ink over there. They don't even have they're not even stealth. I just straight up can't see them. And sometimes having like those marks, knowing where they all are at all times so you don't get like jumped and surprised, sometimes that can help. I think sometimes it's really hard to come back from being run down constantly because it feels like you're always on the back foot, and it's just like everybody feels like they're panicking. It's like, okay, but like, how do we get in now?
Yeah, maybe. I think something that could also help here is a little bit of like positioning. It could even be like micro positioning, where it's like just slight little changes. Like, something that I kind of fall into a lot when I'm on Rainmaker, Undertow specifically, is that I will sit way too far back because in my head I'm like, oh, mid is really dangerous. Like, I shouldn't sit there. I'm just gonna get picked off as a support player. But a lot of the time it's just like, well, if my teammate is there pressuring it with me, how dangerous is it? So, but that's hard to go against into the feeders. I feel like the more you push up, the more you leave yourself open for a weird flank around the side. Like, we saw Spec going for that all the way around the left side flank. Like, they were ready, they were locked in. They only went back because I'm sure somebody probably called out like, yo, Spec, don't do that. And they were like, okay, love you guys. So, again, this is... This is a lot going into this, but I feel like, again, Long Beach Gold, if you know what they're going for, that's like the first step. All the stages of grief. That's like the first stage in being like, okay, well, I mean, like we know what they're trying to do to us, but how do we actually stop it? But
Yeah.
my gosh, it is very tough here. But in these CCA sets, especially in playoffs, it's very, very nice to have all these games that you have to fight against each other in. Like, it takes a while to be able to win the set here, so you'll know that you'll have tried everything, especially here. But Clam Blitz, we're going back onto the mode that, I mean, Long Beach Gold fared pretty well. Like, it was a pretty close game. It went all the way down to overtime. They didn't quite clutch it out there, but they were getting close here. And opting to go for the same comp once again, I can already feel it that they're like, all right, we have a new strat going into this though, because we know what they're gonna do to us. We already know. We see the double end parries. We see the sploosh. We see correct on the heavy edit. We know their game plan. So what do we do against it?
Yeah, at this point, I think we just try to make sure that we are coordinating our pushes well, make sure we're communicating when Spec is doing very silly things. And yes, Spec able to be taken out here. Kaze trying to go in, not able to get anybody. Teammates are going down right now, but does have a cooler active. Really doing their best to stay alive, but just all on their own. Gonna get called out there. And yeah, now it looks like maybe Gold is doing a little bit better of a job right now on opening, calling out where people are, but it is still very much back and forth the blood path, and we do see that splashdown going down now. They have opened the basket. Hydro is keeping feeders away from there, unable to score anymore. They're going to guard that power claim, make sure it does not go in their basket.
Oh my gosh, and I feel like the name of the game here, especially on Umami, is going to be that top mid control. Being able to be on that stack kind of is going to be a lot there. Because if they're flanking around the side, we see already Kaze here dropping left going for that flank. It's like they're reading my mind, bro. But if you have top mid, you can oversee everything here. And sure, they can come up on the wall, but if you're the gal, if you have all these other weapons that can help you from top mid, that's really, really crucial here. But unfortunately, the feeders completely overwhelm Long Beach Gold here. Really, really clean, really, really nicely done here. But we can already see that they're trying to fight back here against this not up against this first push, against this second push here, Rose. The Zipcasters stalled them quite a little bit here, but they're all in, and I mean, I was gonna say that they're close to a splash down there, but they did end up getting taken out here. But again, Koreki holding down this fort, probably providing some jumps as well. It's gonna be tough to take them out if you don't push them as hard as they just pushed you.
It is indeed. Spec is going to jump out there. And unfortunately for the feeders, it took them a while to get a power clam going with that push. So they did waste a little bit of time. Also, dodging that Zipcaster from Gold. But, feeders, to their credit, Corky playing forward aggressively, clearing some space. They're almost halfway through their points now, officially down now to 49 points remaining. I see a splashdown coming, and they get a wipe. And their clams down. I think we're going to get a lot of points scored here.
Oh my gosh, I agree with you. Koreki coming in clutch here. Oh my gosh, the clams are on their side. If they just get one more clam in, that is the game here, Rose, but they don't want to let it in here. But the sploosh, they get the clams in. Oh my gosh, Rose, that was a lot. The shock on my face when they got that power clam jump in was crazy. That is so tough here. Oh my gosh. I'm gobsmacked. I feel like that.
I know. Oh my gosh.
This is such a flash from the past, but I forget what low ink it was, like 2020 or something. ITAP, Inkling Technology at Purdue, was on Snapper Canal Clam Blitz. I think they were in like alpha, like really late in the bracket, and somebody flanked around and jumped in with the power clam, and they lost the game. And I remember it shook everyone, because ITAP was like a shoe-in, and everyone was like, this is their low ink, this is their low ink. And that's like what just happened. Like, I feel like I just got traumatized again, Rose. That was a lot.
Yeah, the feeders were so fast. It's been very interesting watching. They'll sort of start off Clam Blitz just by chipping away a little bit, and they're just sort of like throwing resources at the board, almost just waiting for all of their aggression to take Gold by surprise, sort of put them on the back foot, put them to a panicked state where it feels like they have to feed in and just be like, okay, I have to like miracle. I'm able to like get a bunch of players down and stop this push. Because at that point, when the points are being scored so quickly, you know you have to get in there fast. And I saw when they got that wipeout. You know, Umami's not a big map.
Oh my gosh, I know. As soon as that power claim and just such an amazing play too. Like it felt like the members of Long Beach Gold were like, "Oh, well, just ignore the dualies in the back." That's what I say all the time. If there's like somebody all the way flanking behind us, I'm like, just ignore them. But then I think I could see the neurons activating, like the cogs started turning when they saw that they had a power claim at the ready, and they were like, maybe we shouldn't have ignored the dualies in the back. And oh my gosh, Koreki jumping in and then immediately like getting their charge ready to be able to like help their teammates. So smart. They got so many picks from that, so much pressure as well. Being on that top left as a heavy edit.
Oh my gosh,
Like
yeah, Corky,
masterfully done.
like, y'all thought I was the anchor right now.
Oh my gosh.
I'm the front line,
I'm actually
actually.
playing. So yeah, I'm actually like so good. But Rose, my gosh, like we're talking about how amazing that they're doing here, but this is match point now. Like quarterfinals, you already know. This is do or explode into a bunch of little ink puddles. Like I talked about before. And what better game to have this on than Mahi Mahi Resort Splat Zones? My gosh, I love the love that Mahi Mahi has been getting. Not as of late, but like for a while now. Like I'm happy to
Yes.
see her.
It's my favorite map mode. I'm so glad to see it. It's so much fun. I love it. We do have the Explo coming back here. Oh, yeah, they're going back to that zones comp we saw from them. So we'll have to see if it works out a little bit better for them this time against Long Beach Gold.
Yeah, and I mean, I was gonna say, like, that's the game that they won here. That's the game where they were able to get the upper hand against the feeders. So, I mean, if you're on the side of Long Beach Gold, you're kind of like, okay, well, we can totally do that again, y'all, right? Like, we can totally do it again. Like, sure, maybe they're coolered up, but we're also coolered up, and we can try to fight them here in mid. So the Zipcaster as well, trying to go for this Explo. I can already feel that they want it, and getting 2 picks. Huge, still being able to keep the zone, at least for right now here, but Hydro not really able to push in here because of all the pressure there on the zone here. The Gal trying to take out Koreki here, not quite able to, and they're getting called out. I mean, they're getting pushed back. The Explo is pushing up as well, getting a lot of pressure there for their friends, but 2 down here. Both of their dualies are going to go out here on the side of the feeders, but still going to be able to cooler up here. The Chumps in the zone here, Rose. They still want to keep this. Like, the feeders are not letting the zone go. They're still really pushed up here in mid.
They are. It's, not a whole lot of points being scored just yet. We're gonna, if Gold continues to hold this for a little bit longer, we're gonna start seeing the map change, the water levels changing. They're still holding. They're still holding, but yeah, Mahi, you never know what's gonna happen on Mahi. That's kind of why I love it so much.
No, that is so true, especially with the water levels dropping, you already know. But Long Beach Gold, they can already kind of tell that something's going to happen here. They can tell that they're stationing up here on that little area, and they opt to whale them back, which is going to stop them for a little bit here. But, I mean, Spec's already up onto this snipe. We can already see that they want to take them out here, pushing them into mid there. But, I mean, they weren't able to get the zone. I was about to say, Rose, that feeders are going to try to stay in this set. They want to take this game out, but, I mean, they just now get the zone. So, again, Long Beach Gold, they're like, don't worry, y'all. We have a lot of time. We have a lot of assurance because of that great lead that we have so far. And they're going to go 2 down on the side of the feeders once again here. They're looking pretty strong again in the zones game, similarly to how they did in the first one we saw.
Yeah, we did see that. It looks like Gold's been doing really well on these zones matches, but we are having a lot of trades going back and forth on both sides here. Feeder still has control of the zone. Gold, does have a pretty good lead at this point, but it could go by pretty quickly. They still have it yet again. We have got the splashdown coming down. Yep. Honestly, we talked about like the death amoeba on feeders. I think we're seeing it again now. I think they've gotten a little bit more situated on Mahi. They're threatening a lead switch. That Booyah is coming out. You see everybody on Gold standing close together. The lead switches. We have 1 down on both sides. Gold's going to have to get in here pretty soon. But they might be panicking at this moment.
Definitely, and I mean, I can see that they're getting swarmed here by the members of the feeders. Oh my gosh, they're gonna go 2 down, but still being able to cap the zone, that gives them a lot of space to breathe, even if they don't quite have their footing here in mid quite yet. I can see Filmopolis fighting around for their life here. They want to keep the zone, they want to be able to cap it here. Only 2 minutes left in this game, and you already know Filmopolis here trying to get another pick, but they're not able to. Rose, my gosh. Long Beach Gold, 2 down here. They're getting staggered quite a bit. I feel like that was like a delayed like 3 down-ish, and I feel like they're just kind of got to do what worked before, which is booyah into them. Oh, wait, but they take out the Glugas, which is really, really huge here. I mean, they're going to be cooled up from now on, but still, taking out that kind of option for the members of the feeders to keep them away is really, really smart here. But we're still getting down to the wire. I mean, splashdowns are coming out. The Gal's going to go down here on Long Beach Gold, but they're still getting enough picks to try to get this zone back in their hands.
They are, the feeders lost their Explode. Like, we're trying to get these painters on gold back onto the zone, but unfortunately, no, the Gal is going down. It's just the pencil alive. It's just the pencil alive. They have to get the rest of the team in real quick because this is going to go down really quickly. Yep, able to get a pick, and that is game 5 and the set for the UTK feeders. They are heading into the semifinals.
Oh my gosh. That was a really great game though from the feeders. Like again, it felt like they adapted really well to what Long Beach Gold was doing. It felt like every time they were trying to come back in, they always had a response, they always had an answer to it. And it felt like every time, even when they like poked holes in their defense, like even when they took out the Explo, they were like, "Well, let's like play a little safer then. How about we not feed?" Hypothetically, how about we not feed for a second so that we can keep this zone? And that was really, really smart. Like, they played the waiting game when the Expo went down, which I think a lot of teams don't do. They're like, oh, I know our backline is down, but that means we should keep the pressure up because they're not there to help us. We should just like pretend that they're still here and then like keep the pressure up and then like they'll just jump back in and like we'll be fine. But playing when you know that you don't have someone to back you up is really, really smart because you're like, well, like, what if we just like back each other up, y'all? Like, what if we just play like the amiibo, like you talked about? Like, they did a really, really good job playing together, and just I feel like I never saw them jump onto Long Beach Gold's plat. Like, they weren't really in their spawn, but they were still pressuring it with all of their specials, which is really smart because they weren't overextending as feeders. They were playing around the zone really, really well, which I think was kind of where Hagel wavered a little bit. Like, they went on the flanks a lot. It was kind of tough for them to get in, for them to have any ground to stand on because they weren't really playing around the objective. But like they adapted so well there. Like many I'll clap in the circle for UTK feeders. Like they did really, really well. That was a really great set.
Yeah, Mahi zones, I'm always like, well, I don't know. Until the knockout happens, you never know. The lead might flip and whatnot. Zones, it really is all about making sure you have those holds to make sure you don't have to like constantly be taking through penalty points. They did a really, really great job, but also shout outs to Long Beach Gold. We did see a lot of good fighting from them. Their Haggle Zones game was great, and it felt like they almost had Mahi zones. Almost.
It felt like a lot of those games, they were adapting, but a little bit too slowly, it felt like. And I think this would be a really, really good one for them to VOD. Like, good VOD review material. Like,
Definitely.
And I think, I got the pleasure of commentating one of their group sets last week. They had, like, a little, like, LAN match. It was really cute. They played against a team, like, in person, and it was really, really cool to see. And I feel like it's great to make playoffs, and you should always be playing to learn. This is what my coach always says to me. Like, play to learn, play to grow. Don't just play to win, because, I mean, you're going to kind of get lost in that mindset, and you're going to lose yourself a little bit there. So, many claps in a circle for CSULB Gold. I tried to say their full legal name, and then I got tripped up, so that was really embarrassing. But, anyways.
They did. Yeah, huge congrats to both teams. Good luck to the feeders for the rest of their time in this season for CCA. They are moving on into the semifinals. Best of luck to CSULB Gold with, the future endeavors and whatnot. They have plenty of learn. They still did a great showing. And there's also plenty of more CCA matches to come here.
That is very, very true. My gosh. I mean, you already know we're going to be seeing lots of stuff next week. You already know we're going to be seeing some more stuff tonight, like right now. Like we have another match like already. So, I'm going to break off to our next set of commentators, which one of them definitely isn't me. It's definitely not going to be me in a mustache later, and by later I mean like 3 minutes. So let's not pretend, but we're both gonna leave. So, Rose, where can the lovely people find you? Like, shout yourself out.
You all can find me over on Blue Sky, Twitch, YouTube, all the various places. I am Rosa Battle at all of them. And what about you, Grace? Non-mustachioed Grace.
Yeah, that's not happening yet. Well, you can find me sometimes losing my marbles and my mind in the lovely Inkling Performance Labs in the Swimmer Sync Help Desk specifically. But more normally, you can find me on Blue Sky at Tubnug, Tubnug. I do a little posting over there. And also, I mean, it's too early to say, but also at Riptide, so you already know.
Ooh,
Oh, well,
very exciting.
very exciting. And I know you just came back from the Big Dapple, so we're all like land pilled right now. You already know.
Heck yeah.
So that's it from us, the both of us, for sure. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But thank you for joining us. And again, a huge congratulations to UTK feeders. They're going on to the semifinals for Div 3, so big congrats to them. But don't go anywhere because another match from Div 2, spoiler, is coming at you really soon. So thank you. Bye.
Bye.